Joy Junction was a beloved Christian children's television show that aired for 20 years until one day, without any explanation, the show was canceled. The show and all its official records were deleted. All this due to the shady events that happened during and after its transmission. Joy Junction was the name of the fictional town in which the characters lived. They met to tell stories, play games, and answer questions all related to Christianity. The episodes followed the same structure and talked about a lesson taught in the Bible, which was told through an acted story. This was complemented with games and participation from the live audience, which were mostly children between 3 to 13 years old. Don McAllister was the sheriff of the town and also the creator of Joy Junction. The cast had several characters. However, the most popular was the puppet Marty, played by professional ventriloquist Ronald Brown. Marty the puppet in particular had an impact on children because of his face that children found to be terrifying. They appear in all the episodes that have been recovered today. Ron and Marty were assigned the most important lessons, such as not to swear, also lessons on self-control, to stop having bad thoughts, and the most controversial lesson, to not look at dirty pictures. The program itself was considered lost media, and no official copies were ever created by the creators or the networks that broadcasted it. If you search online, there is not much information about the show either. There is a Wikipedia page, but besides that, you can't find any information regarding actors or producers who happen to mention this show in their resume. This program was broadcasted on CBN in Florida, and then due to its fame on CBN and Smile of a Child, this program was eventually broadcasted throughout the rest of the United States. No explanation was given as to why it was taken off the air. We only have information about the show through old VHS recordings captured by those who enjoyed the show. These clips have been uploaded to YouTube in recent years. Police arrested a man on suspicion of CP, only to find numerous images of CP on his hard drive. The vast majority of the victims could not be identified, except for one clue on one of the water bottles in the picture that showed the name of a swimming and diving school in Kansas City. Police managed to find the victim, who was a child, who then pointed out his abuser, a man named Michael Arnett. On his computer were a bunch of photos and videos of CP, many of which had been produced by him. And on the computer, they also found a long history of online chats with a man named Ronald Brown. Ronald Brown was a professional ventriloquist who worked in the church and also at events in shopping malls and birthday parties. He also had a role in Joy Junction. Ronald had some run-ins with the law. A policeman had stopped him for speeding, and then he was arrested for carrying children's underwear in his car. Ronald got out of this by arguing that the underwear belonged to his puppet, Marty. He also used to have strange relations with children by moving very close to a children's park and always inviting numerous children to have pizza with him at his house. Several parents and neighbors complained about him. He never had any legal action taken against him, since people thought he was just some boring old Christian ventriloquist. In the chats found, they talked about how they fantasized about killing and eating children. Ronald had even formed a very real plan to take one of the children from the show, of whom he had several photos of. Ronald admitted that he loved seeing dead children since he was very young. Ronald's house was raided, and more than 200 photos with CP were found, including images of dead children and children from the church with whom he'd fantasized. When Brown was arrested, he confessed everything and said that he simply liked to roleplay with his friend Michael Arnett. It is true that it could not be proven that Ronald had succumbed to his fantasies, but who knows if over time Ronald would have committed these heinous acts. One of the most chilling aspects is that Ronald kept diaries since 1978 in which he described what he wanted to do to several children who participated in Joy Junction since then. That is why it is believed that this is why several networks decided to cut ties with the program and consequently caused its cancellation. Ronald was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2014, and it is known that he died on August 5th, 2020, age 65, due to a motor neuron disease. Now, Joy Junction is only remembered for Ronald and his puppet Marty, and not for all the Christian teachings and the message for which it was originally created.
I noticed that some of the kids were kind of giggling and laughing, and I wondered why they were doing that. Well, why were they doing it? Well, they said, Marty, come over here and take a look at our pictures. So I walked on over there and I took a look. And do you know what it was? What was it, Marty? Well, it was in Arizona, I'll tell you that right now. Ron, they were looking at some dirty pictures and they wanted me to look too. Well, Marty, what did you do? Well, I said, look, guys, I like you a lot and I want to play with you, but I can't look at those pictures. I just can't do it. Well, what did they say, Marty? They said, oh, Marty, come on. Your parents are in the house. No one will see. Well, what did you say? I said, that may be true, but I know someone who will see, and that's God. That's right, Marty. That kind of reminds me of a verse I'm thinking of in the Bible that's found in 2 Timothy 2:22. And it says that you should run away from anything that will give you evil thoughts. And as your companions, you should have friends who have pure and clean thoughts and will only give you good ideas. Well, you know what I decided to do? What's that, Marty? I decided to turn around and go right back home. Well, Marty, I'm real proud of you for that. And some of the kids were kind of laughing at me, too. Well, that's okay, Marty. I think they will respect you for your opinion. And, I'm glad you weren't wishy-washy. I'm glad you remained firm in your belief that looking at those kind of things is wrong. I'm real proud of you, Marty, for the decision.
Did any of you ever see Joy Junction? Or maybe you have a dark showbiz story you would like to share. Let us know in the comments below or by sending an email to dragonvin@gmail.com. And as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful night.